I had a bit of wanderlust, kind of discontented with my life at the time and the place that I was at with my mental health. If I could get away from my current environment, then there'd be some way of me working things out and feeling better. I left from my house in East Melbourne. I took some photos with my family and said, all right, well, I'll see you when I see you. I've been to Europe and I've been travelling overseas, and I'd never actually seen the country that I grew up in. The first night, I wanted to make a curry for dinner, so I bought some spices and a couple of onions, and then I just drove up a four-wheel drive track. I set my tent up and made myself a curry, and that was my first day. I fell into a routine of what I would do every day, and it would be pretty much wake up as soon as the birds start screaming. I'd boil the trangia, I'd make a coffee. I felt this sort of freedom that I'd only read about or heard about, through sort of watching films and stuff, of like being in the Australian outback, being able to go from like one town to the next, and if I didn't like it, I could just drive to the next town and stay for as long as I liked. So I went to a lot of different places and I saw the landscape change in slow motion around me as I went through so many different environments, and even if I just drove for one day, I might have gone from like a subtropical rainforest to a desert and arid area and then back into another sort of forested area. That was a really interesting part of my trip, of seeing how diverse Australia is. I played a lot of guitar on the side of the road. Played a lot of guitar in like the wilderness, and just set up with the battery and turn the amp on and stuff, and just blast it really loud and play to canyons and things like that, or just in the middle of nowhere and just play really loudly. I really liked, what I did, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life. The realizations that I had, most of them came in the years after I did the trip. I sort of learned that if I don't like something about myself, or if I don't like something that I've done or a way that I feel, then I realise that it's actually me and not anything else around me. The way I deal with that now is really different from getting in a car and driving like 12,000 kilometres. Today I actually practice self-care. I look after my mental health, and I have a peer support group. I actually had to try and run or like change my environment and change the places where I was to realise that that wasn't the way to do it, that I actually had to change myself.